to Joanne's Cosmic Energy. I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I'd like to welcome you to our show today and ask you, how are you doing with all this amazing, crazy energy that's going on in this world right now with the COVID-19? And also, interesting enough, we have some amazing planets that have gone retrograde. But we're going to get into that in a moment because I just want to just give a shout out to my advertising sponsors, to my TV show. To start off with, we have Sherry Simpson, who is our intuitive business guide. She helps women transform their business so they can be the best version of themselves and transfer that over to their clients. Then we also have Susan Joy Mitchell. She is an author, a nurse educator, and a Reiki practitioner. She has 2 amazing books available on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. And those books are Visions and The Lucky Starfish. And then our final advertising sponsor is Gail Nicholson. She's a resilience coach and a metaphysical practitioner who helps veterans and survivors of other adverse experiences remove traumas and dramas from their daily life so they can have happier lives and be more successful. And to reach her, you can reach her at 623-336-8202. And I'd also like to remind you, or inform you, not necessarily remind you, but inform you that I am doing a 31-day dance challenge called Come Dance With Me Dance Party. It stems off of the, what do they call that? Oh my God, I just lost train of thought. But anyway, it started on May 1st and it goes for 31 days. And I've taken it to the next step of making it more of a challenge and more fun, as I would like to invite you to come join me on Facebook Live on Jab Barry every night around 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time to come dance with me, dance like no one's watching, where there could be thousands who are. The idea of the game is to dance, move your body so you can activate your chakras. And in this time that we are in right now in this world, it's really important that we do activate our chakras, as our chakras, from my perspective, is a primary prospect to helping us move forward. Because when your chakras are stagnant or even blocked, that prevents you from actually moving forward in life. And although, yes, in the last 8 weeks or so, we have been asked to be still and to stay in, so to speak, on the lockdown. Now the new term is pause. We have been asked to pause. And when we're pausing, physically speaking around us, doesn't mean that we have to pause our mental thoughts and our intentions. It's very important at this time to activate your chakras so you can get things to flow. So as we do get to move forward, and that could happen at any time, and I like to help you be prepared for it. So if you are in the space of just being still and feeling stuck, dancing is a great way to activate your chakras. Especially when you do dance, you're activating some primary chakras, such as the root chakra, which really connects you to the earth, because your feet are literally touching the floor, banging up the floor, making noise to the earth, so the earth can feel your energy and the vibration. And also when we talk about the sacral chakra, which is when we count the chakras from the bottom up, the sacral chakra is the second chakra. And that chakra is a powerful chakra, as it's all about your feminine energy, your sexuality, and your power. And when activating the sacral chakra, it helps you to literally let go of any judgment you may have towards yourself and to others. And that's a big one. And in a bit, I'm going to explain to you how that particular chakra is associated with what's going on around our world right now. So keep that in your mind. And when we think about the other chakras, it's also about raising our vibration, connecting it to the crown chakra to help us become a better version of who we are. So with all this energy that's going on, this is one of the reasons why I decided to take this 31-day challenge and make it something more than what it is. And as the name is coming back to me, where this 31-day challenge comes from is called the Maypole. This stems back many, many years back, as the Europeans would take this specific day on May 1st to celebrate this particular energy. And that's where it stems from. So I'm inviting you to come join me every night for the entire month of May to dance with me. And you can either dance with me with your own music or dance with the music that I choose. And I've just been advised that I'm not allowed to use music, because they shut it down. But that's okay. They're going to not play the rules anyway. So come share with me, dance with me, move your body like no one's watching, and you can move your body with ease, or you can freestyle, which is pretty much what I like to do. I like to freestyle dance. It allows me to really step into my sensuality and to really step into my feminine power. And I also invite you to get dressed up when you're doing this, because when you get dressed up, it feels like you're actually going to a party. So feel free to do that. Get dressed, put your favorite shoes on, lipstick, do your hair, whatever it is that you'd like to do to really feel like you're in the scene of the dance party. And that takes place every night at 10 p.m.-ish Eastern time. I'd also like to invite you to come join me every night, Monday to Friday, for our 11:11 p.m. Eastern time, 11-minute meditation and one card pull. And how I came about with that is the 11:11 in numerology and also angel numbers. It's all about the portal is open and you have a much easier access to your spirit guides, loved ones, higher self, and also all your angels. And during that time, it helps us to get into a deeper space of meditation. And although the meditation is theoretically an 11-minute meditation, the actual session, which is we all meet via Zoom. So if this is something you might be interested in, all you would need to do is send me an email saying that you would like the Zoom information. And that email address is healingwithin76@gmail.com. And again, we meet every night, Monday through Friday, at 11:11 p.m. Eastern time. And we go through the meditation. It's geared up to one card. One card that is from my deck, my Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck. And that card sets the tone of what it is we would be focusing on for meditation, such as the chakra, the affirmation, and then also the number, which provides a hidden message. I always like to say it's a little gift we get at the end of the meditation. So feel free to join me there. And again, that email is healingwithin76@gmail.com. Now what I like to do, talking about setting the energy for the day, I like to pull a card and see what we all need to hear for today. And then we're going to move into the information about today, about why I chose to call today's show Pause. How are you pausing in life right now? And very quickly, and I love the fact that this card is showing up, it goes really well with the word pause. And this is patience. And I actually had a conversation with a woman today who I had never seen before, met for the first time, and we were talking about patience today. And this is letting you know that, yes, every one of us are being encouraged to bring on more patience into our day, into our lives, by having to be patient enough to stand outside the supermarket, having to be patient enough to stand outside the banks, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So be aware, take inventory of where patience is showing up in your life and how you are doing with patience. The chakra associated is the heart chakra, which does not surprise me, because when we think about what we're experiencing emotionally, that does sit right in the heart center. How are you feeling emotionally with all that's going on? And how is that causing your heart to feel? Is your heart feeling light and flowy and peaceful? Or are you feeling really heavy and feeling as though someone's sitting on your chest? So that would be the heart. So that's about thinking about healing and using patience to do just that. Now our number here, which is interesting because this number goes really well with the energy that we are also in collectively, the 4 energy. When you think about numerology, collectively the year 2020 is all about the 4. When you add those numbers up, it's a 4 energy. And it's all about the foundation that we are in, finding harmony, finding balance, and finding stabilization as we break the old foundation and work on building a new one. And every one of us collectively are in that process right now. This is something we're being sort of encouraged. I'm not going to use the word force, but we're being encouraged to really break down the old foundations and clear away what no longer serves, so we can bring more harmony, balance, and stability into our lives in all areas of our lives. Now, I'm hoping that this resonates. The patience, clearing the heart so the heart can be lighter, and know that that four energy is all about balance, harmony, and stability, about all around your foundation. So I like to go right into our topic for the day in regards to pausing and what that means and retrogrades. Now, for those of you who may not know what retrograde actually means, retrograde means that a specific planet, the energy of that planet sort of goes backwards. Now, in theory, it really doesn't go backwards, but it's a psychological thing, and it's something that energetically we feel. So whether the planet actually goes backwards or it actually feels like the energy slows down. And now, as of today, we have 3 planets that are in retrograde. And I'm going to just go back and start with the very first one. Our very first planet that had gone retrograde is Pluto. Pluto is the planet of what we call deaths, meaning things dying off, and transformations. And that started as of April 25th, and it will stay retrograde until October 4th. So that's a 4-month period where we get to reflect on what needs to change in our lives and how we are transforming. And I bring this information to you because I would like you to become more insightful and more aware of what's going on around you and why you may feel as though people are leaving your life, or places are leaving, or situations are changing. And this is all because Pluto is exactly where it is. Now, I also want to bring to your attention that Pluto is connected, is associated with the sacral chakra. So there could be a lot of activation going on with the sacral chakra due to the fact that Pluto is associated. So again, the sacral chakra is the second chakra from up, and it's all about the sensual energy, the confidence, and the transformation that takes place in the sexual in the sacral energy. Too many S's there. So when we think about the transformation and the rebirth that you are undergoing with this 4-month transformation, this 4-month retrograde of Pluto, know that this is all taking place to serve our most highest good. So now let's talk about the second planet, and hopefully I won't get tongue-tied here. And second planet that has gone retrograde, it only went retrograde this past week, which was May 11th, which was Monday, and that is Saturn. Now, with Saturn's energy, Saturn is all about the karmic energy, and it's also about feeling stuck. Now, I had mentioned that earlier, where we were talking about, moving and dancing so we can get the chakras to flow. And here it is, Saturn is retrograde, which may very well help you to feel like you're sluggish and you don't really want to do anything. And that has a lot to do with Saturn. Saturn is also very much responsible for your boundaries and also limits. And in regards to possibly, what do you feel guilty about? What is it that you want to make amends on? And that's that karmic energy. And that's Saturn playing a huge role there. Now, the chakra that Saturn is associated with is the third eye. The third eye. It allows you to really step into that space of seeing things on a much bigger picture and being able to plan out what you would like your life to look like. So being that Saturn is in retrograde, and again, went to retrograde as of May 11th, and will stay there until September 29th, you have a 4-month period to really sit and reflect on how you would like to see your life unfold. What changes will you be enduring during this period of time, whether it's the COVID-19 pause or these retrograde pause? How would you like to see things move forward once the gates open again? And I ask you to reflect on that, because it's an important thing to think about. I do not want to see you left out in the cold when the gates open and you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. Use this time that you have right now to pause and reflect, and perhaps even get pen to paper and write down all the areas in your life that is important to you. That could look like your career, your job, your relationships, your intimate relationships, traveling. What kind of fame do you want to step into? How do you want to be in the spotlight? Do you want to be in a spotlight? So these are all things, your money, your wealth. These are all things that come into mind in this pause time. And I invite you to take advantage of this energy. Now, today is May 13th, and our third planet that is retrograde has already retrograde, which is Venus. Woo! Venus is a big planet. Venus is a planet that we're going to feel all these energies, but Venus more so, because Venus really hits home. Venus is all about love, money, and relationships. And now let's look at it this way. The love and relationship goes together, and what's your relationship with money? That goes together. So there's going to be a lot of examinations between that. And one of the things that I know for sure that I've been hearing a lot about is the possibility of thinking about your ex or dreaming about your ex and wondering about how that person is, or perhaps that person may show up one way or another. I ask that you listen to this and hear it really loudly. It's not an invitation to go back with them. Not at all. What it is an invitation for you to do is to reflect on what the relationship was like when you were with them at the time you were together, and how much you've grown since that point. So if this is a relationship that was 5 years ago, you now get to reflect on where you were 5 years ago and where you are right now, and how you've changed and how they've changed. And perhaps maybe there is a space of some sort of forgiving coming in. Maybe that person or maybe you may want to have a conversation where you can express forgiveness based on what took place in that relationship and how the relationship ended. If the relationship ended peacefully and calmly and you just went separate ways, awesome. But if the relationship ended in such a way that left one of you feeling heart heavy, which is what our card was all about, perhaps it's a time where you get to have a conversation where you get to receive forgiveness or give forgiveness. And that's based on Venus's energy. Also understand, Venus will be retrograde as of today through June 25th. So that's only like 3.5 weeks. So it's not really a long time, but it's enough of time for you to reflect and perhaps make that phone call if you're the one that has to do the forgiving. That maybe you have to forgive that person for something, and let them know that. And perhaps they may be okay and reciprocate the same thing as well. So during this Venus retrograde is, again, the love, relationships, and money. Now, the Venus planet sits in the sacral chakra. Now, I know I said earlier Pluto sits in the sacral, but so does Venus. Venus is, again, the sensuality, the feminine energy, the where we birth and where we create things when we think about it. And the same thing as the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is very powerful over this period of the retrograde, where you may very well be feeling like there's something that needs to shift within you, especially for the women out there. That maybe you've been sitting in your masculine energy for so long that now during this retrograde and COVID-19, maybe it is really a time for you to step out of the masculine and become more vulnerable and step into your feminine. Now, this can also be the same thing for the guys out there, where perhaps it's really time to get more in touch with your emotions and really feel into the feminine energy a little bit, where you can be more sensitive and allow yourself to show your emotions. So if you are feeling sad or disappointed or hurt by something, not to feel like you need to be so macho and hold it in. I'm inviting you to get in contact, get in touch with your emotions during this Venus retrograde. After all, it sits right in the sacral chakra. And we all have a sacral chakra, every one of us, male and female. So in this time of this 3.5 week retrograde, I invite you to really connect with the sacral chakra and allow it to open and move into whatever traumas that are there, address the traumas, and heal from the traumas so you can really step into that new place of rebirth and transformation that can occur from this beautiful Venus retrograde. And when we think about tapping into the traumas in itself, perhaps you may need a little support and guidance. And if that is the case, feel free to go ahead and email me, because that's what I do. As your certified personal trainer, intuitive healer, and cosmic energy reader, excuse me, I help and support clients like yourself in healing those traumas so you can activate the sacral chakra. And for that matter, all the other chakras as well. Because anytime a chakra is stagnant or blocked, it's usually because there's some sort of trauma that is stuck there, that needs your attention. And this is a great time to take advantage of this powerful energy of the retrogrades. And now I had mentioned to you that 3 of our planets are retrograde as we speak. I'm going to speak about one more, which will go retrograde tomorrow. So that's going to make 4 retrogrades, 4 planets retrograding. And this planet is Jupiter. Now, Jupiter, I think Jupiter says it all, because Jupiter is the planet of where we are literally going to go into spiritual growth. Jupiter is about examining your spiritual growth. And that's exactly where we are with this COVID-19, pausing in this time where we get to really see where we were 8 weeks ago and where we are now and where we will be when the gates open and we move into our new normal, whatever that's going to look like. And Jupiter is associated with the crown chakra, which is the 7th chakra. And when we think about the 7th chakra, it's about releasing the ego and allowing ourselves to really step into who we are on a higher level. And when we can release the ego is attached to people, places, and things. And I just want to give you a minute just to reflect and think about what we have been encouraged to do over the last 8.5 weeks. Basically, come away from places, move away from people, and let go of things. So here we are in the spiritual growth, in the spiritual transformation, as we all speak, collectively doing this together. Even though we might be doing it individually, we are all doing it collectively. And there is a bigger purpose for this process of a spiritual transformation, where energetically we are raising our frequency so we can raise our vibration, so we can become a better version of who we are. So when we do look in the mirror, we're going to see someone looking back at us being very different, because we are not the same person we were 8 weeks ago. And we're damn sure not going to be the same person we will be 8 weeks from now. There's going to be a major transformation taking place. And when we think about all of these planets in retrograde and how they are associated with specific chakras, it makes sense to why I've decided as of May 1st to want to engage in this beautiful Come Dance With Me dance party to help you activate your chakras. Now, as we activate our chakras, I also like to bring to your attention that our chakra system has a major connection to our immune system and also our nervous system. So when we are activating our chakras, we are actually helping to heal the immune system. We are making ourselves healthier by activating our chakras. Every chakra is associated with a specific body part and also associated with illness and disease. So when we activate the chakras, one chakra at a time, we are decreasing our risk of illness and disease because we're increasing our immune system. And that stimulates the nervous system. And the nervous system is connected to all of our internal organs. So from my point of view, it's a win-win. It is definitely a win-win. So I've given you a lot to chew on today in regards to our retrograde and the fact that we have, as of tomorrow, we will have 4 planets in retrograde. And again, Jupiter will go retrograde tomorrow, which is May 14th, and stay retrograde until September 12th. So out of 4 of our planets, 3 of them will be retrograde for 4 months. Venus will be retrograde for 3.5 weeks. So this is really a prime time to sit quietly, pause, and evaluate and reflect on what it is you would like to see your life look like going forward. And I like to remind you that you are the creator to your life. You are the author, you are the main character, and you get to decide what it is you want your life to look like based on your own thoughts and based on whether you want to be positive or if you want to be negative Nelly. It's up to you. You could be positive Pam or negative Nelly. It's your choice. But you understand that if you're going to be negative Nelly, your outcome's going to be negative. You're not going to build the empire you're looking to build if you're going to be negative Nelly. But if you're going to be positive Pam, you're going to have a bright future. So stay focused on what it is you truly want to create in your life. So if you want whatever it is as your reality, focus on that being your reality. If you're going to sit there and whine and about how things are not going the way you want it to be, and you're focusing on what's not working for you, then you're going to get more of that. So you are the creator. And I invite you again to take advantage of these amazing planets that are in retrograde as we speak, and use this time to really step into your transformation. Allow yourself to recognize your boundaries, your new boundaries, let go of any guilt you're holding on to, work through that karmic energy, and allow yourself to step in a space of falling in love with you and having a better relationship with money, and then recognizing the spiritual growth you are actually going through in this time now, and connecting with your chakras, one chakra at a time, and allowing yourself just to be in that space so you can feel more free, because this is where your freedom comes in, when you can step into your own body, connect with it internally, going within, and really realigning your chakras so you can have your best life. And that's freedom. That brings you into the freedom that you have been looking for and have felt as though someone's taken it away. No one's taking your freedom away. It's still there. It's up to you to reclaim it and reinvent it, for that matter. Reinvent it. So I've given you a lot of information, and I'm going to wish you well on these amazing retrogrades that we have going on. And remember, the key component is to reflect. Sit in meditation and reflect on where you like to see your life and how you like to see your life unfold as we move forward into our new normal. And as we speak of meditation, I am looking forward to introducing you to my guests in a little while, because we are going to be speaking about meditation and how all of this comes into play. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to have my guest here. We'll be right back.
When you open yourself up to actual energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life? I can show you how.
Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I'd like to invite you to join me every night in the month of May on Facebook Live for our 31-day dance challenge. Come dance with me, dance party. Move your body and reactivate your chakras, one chakra at a time. Begin to activate your root chakra. Feel yourself getting grounded. Move that energy up into your sacral, feeling that sensual energy. Move it into your solar plexus, feeling secure. Bring it up on into your heart. Feel that love. Then express it. Tap into your third eye and visualize. Connect into your higher self. One chakra at a time, raising your vibration. Join me every night for the month of May in our dance party. Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Cosmic Energy. For those of you who are just tuning in, well, you're going to probably have to go back to the replay, because I've shared a whole lot of information about our planets being in retrograde and how that has a huge impact on what's going on around our world, and how those planets are actually connected and associated with our chakra system. What I like to introduce, because I have a lot to share with my guests, I like to introduce my guest today, Nick Rafter. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well. I'm excited that you were able to come on last minute and work under pressure. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
How was your day?
Good. I did a lot of gardening today.
Oh, awesome. So you are very grounded.
Very grounded. Yeah, I was going to say very connected to nature today, which was nice.
Yes. So before I went to commercial break, I was speaking to the viewers about our chakra system and really being able to align ourselves through meditation with our chakras. Now, you have been with me. Now, how many days have we been doing our 11-minute meditation and one card pull?
Oh, at least 8 weeks now. So about 60 days.
So 60 days, and we meet 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of meditation.
Yes.
Now, just so the viewers will know, even though I mentioned it early, but I'm going to re-mention it because we might have some new viewers popping in. The 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time meditation, the whole purpose for it is the 11:11 in numerology is all about our portal being open. And that portal, which connects us to our higher self, helps us to have a easier connection to our guides, loved ones, spirit guides, and even our higher power, which then, from my perspective, makes it a little easier to meditate because then we have that connection. Now, Nick, for you, how has the 11:11 p.m. meditation, 11-minute meditation and one card pull been for you?
It's been, I don't know how I would have gotten through the last 8 weeks without it. It's allowed me to sort of make sense of what is a really weird time, both in the world and in my own life. And it's allowed me to really make the most of this time of isolation and this time of quarantine and staying in, and also connect to my higher self and really sort of see what my path is. I think now that before all this happened, I was a little bit too all over the place. I didn't have a focus. I thought I had a focus, but I didn't really. And meditation has allowed me to sort of really focus and really understand exactly what I need to do in my life right now and what I need to take advantage of in this moment.
Now, during the meditations, prior to our last 8 weeks of meditation, have you meditated before?
Yeah. I mean, we and you and I worked on this too in the past couple of years. But I don't think I'd made the most out of it. I think that meditation previous to this was sort of a snapshot in time. It was a thing that I did scheduled around other things. And not to say that it didn't work, it didn't help. It was extremely helpful even before this. But it almost seems like, not that I didn't take it seriously, but that I didn't really take it into full what I really needed to get out of it. It became just another thing to do, another thing on my schedule for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't use it to all of its full advantage and really make it part of my life and make it part of my daily routine and my lifestyle outside of the hour or so that we meditated every week.
Mm-hmm. And with connecting, because we're both using the term higher self, and there may be many viewers out there who's saying to themselves, well, how do I connect with my higher self? Now, I can easily explain it because I'm obviously the facilitator and the healer. How would you explain connecting to your higher self?
It's really hard to explain, but let's see if I can put it into words. It's really about sort of listening to that voice, that voice that you always hear the saying, listen to that voice inside, kind of like that. And sometimes it based on what it's saying or what it's showing you. I had one experience. It's a good experience. I could probably bring up is that we were talking about one meditation a few weeks ago, to look and see a color, what color is being seen in front of you. And I saw the color pink. And the thing about this is that I don't like the color pink.
Yes, I remember you saying that during the meditation.
And I was like, I don't want to see pink. I want to see blue. I want to see, and the pink was there. And I had to sort of like let that go and say, all right, pink is there for a reason, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And sort of, once I let that go, I started hearing things, like not literally hearing things, but like hearing what I've been told, things that I didn't expect to hear. And so you begin to understand that when you sort of release your mind and listen, you'll hear things that you know won't be your own mind, your own bias. It will be something you either didn't want to hear or didn't expect to hear. It's not what you thought you would hear, and you start listening to your intuition and understanding that this is what I need to hear. You know, it's hard to really, you kind of have to be in that moment to understand what you're listening for. And to be honest, like when you would explain it to me beforehand, before we started all this, I didn't get it. I was like, you know, are you just listening to your own thoughts? Isn't that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you actually brought that up. Two things I want to mention, and then you'll be able to continue. Mm-hmm. The first thing is for the viewers, in reference to when you saw the color pink, what chakra is that color associated with?
The heart.
Okay. And I want to make that clear so viewers will understand that there's a color associated with each chakra.
Right.
And that pink is actually the heart chakra. I mean, it's one of the two colors because some of our chakras do have more than one color to it. The heart chakra happens to have two. One is the green and one is the pink. Mm-hmm. And also the fact that, as you just mentioned, when you first started doing this with me years ago, your question was, well, you know, I'm supposed to hear things or see things? And is this my imagination? Am I just making this up in my head? And I hear many people ask that question, you know, like, how do I know I'm not just making it up? Mm-hmm. You know, and in regards to that answer, from my point of view, a lot of it is imagination. Mm-hmm. You know, whereas like, you know, if I'm suggesting to you visualize colors, now I'm not saying to you, I might give you guides and reference like, okay, we're going to see the red, we're going to see the orange, we're going to see yellow, green, pink, turquoise, blue, indigo, purple. Mm-hmm. But the thing that comes out of that is what color do you actually see more? Like what stands out for the person?
Right.
And now when it stands out, now it's no longer about the imagination. Now it's about there's something within that now has your attention because something is so more obvious than just seeing all these different colors. And that's where, from my point of view, that's where the meditation really takes over because now it's no longer about your imagination. You know, yeah. Now it's about what's actually being guided to you. So go ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's an important take because early on when I started doing this, I started thinking that I was sort of injecting my own bias into these meditations. And sometimes it's hard because sometimes you will hear what you want to hear, and then you really have to sort of figure out if that is your higher self speaking to you or yourself trying to make it happen. And that's happened to me a few times where I've sort of listened to myself, listened to my higher self, and heard an answer that I really wanted, and then felt kind of like it was too good to be true. Mm-hmm. And you really sort of have to get to a point where your mind is just clear and empty, and you're allowed to sort of like, you know, all the thoughts that could sort of blur your vision, so to speak, are gone from your head. And it does take some sort of practice, but it actually is easier than it sounds. Mm-hmm. And
with you saying that, I want to share a little tip for the viewers, and basically also for you, because I don't think I've ever shared this with you. Mm-hmm. In your question of whether or not what you are hearing is actually coming from your higher self, was that just what you want to hear? Mm-hmm. A really great way that you could determine whether it is or isn't is what we call the pendulum effect.
Right.
And what that actually means for the viewers is using your body as a pendulum to determine whether what you heard came from your higher self or from your own self. And what that really just means is that you ask yourself two questions. The first question is a question where you know the answer is going to be yes. Mm-hmm. The second one is a question where you know the answer is no. And once you establish that, then you sit and ask the question on, based on what you received in meditation, was it from your higher self? And then your body will let you know whether it was or wasn't.
Right.
And that's a great way of determining if what you're hearing in meditation is coming from higher self, or is it just because this is what you want to hear?
Right.
And with the pendulum effect, even if you go back and try to make the pendulum say like a yes when it's really a no, you're not going to be able to push through and change that, because that's what the pendulum is. And it's a really fun thing.
Yeah.
You know, really fun to do.
It's sort of weird because that is sort of a sense of loss of control. And, you know, when you did it the first few times, it was a little scary, but it also felt a little liberating because now I knew that I was not involved in this at all. I knew that it was my higher self telling me it's not me at all. And, you know, I described it because as very liberating. And that's how I kind of want to do meditation from there on out. And it was easier to do it after that because to fall back on that, you know, when I was, and you know, it surprised me too how much of what my higher self was telling me was sort of what I wanted to hear, even what, and you know, am I on the right path? Yes. You know, was it right for me to do this thing? Yes. You know, and it helps. And this goes back to how these meditations have been helping through this whole process, relieving anxiety, coming to terms with what's going on, you know, accepting loss of control, accepting, you know, that a new normal has set in, and also just like figuring out how a lot of what I value in life hasn't really changed from this experience. You know, in this moment, everything I really need and value is still in existence. It's harder because I'm not working as much and I'm not able to make as much money, and the risk is always there of losing my job. But you know, that family is still there. My house is still here. You know, I still have access to the people that I want to have access to, food, clothing, shelter, all that stuff. It still exists, and so the meditations have really helped me sort of let go of the things that didn't serve me and that I basically kept close to me because I thought I needed to have them, or because I sort of it becomes just such a part of me that I figured it was not worth letting go of them.
Yes.
One example is travel. You know, I would travel a lot, and I had to accept the idea that I wouldn't be able to travel for another year plus. And I began to that travel is fun and seeing things is fun and everything, but it does disrupt my life ways that I don't need it to. You know, it's my ability to do my job because I'm away for 2 weeks. It disrupted my relationship. It disrupted my friendships. It disrupted a lot of things that you know. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to travel anymore after this. I'm obviously going to travel a lot. You know, and I'm grateful that I had the ability to travel and see so much already in my relatively short life. You know, I've seen in 35 years than people see in their entire lifetime. Taking this opportunity now, taking this time now, you know, these few years, which will probably be a blip in the greater scheme of things, to stay close to home, to stay close to what's important, to value what's important, to spend time with things that I normally just kind of look past, and people that I don't look past, is a good thing, and it really helped me alleviate my anxiety about this moment. You know.
So in reference to the meditation, not to cut you off, besides your anxiety, how has it helped you sleep?
Interestingly, I wasn't having a problem sleeping before, but the first week or so this was going, I was afraid to sleep because I was having terrible dreams, and I mean dreams that like, and what helped with the meditation is I stopped having scary dreams. And so I was afraid to go to sleep anymore. And I also felt like I wasn't going to sleep with my mind full of stuff. You know, I sleep with, my mind all combobulated with all the news that I heard from that day. It was quiet and empty. And, that felt good.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, in regards to viewers who might be new at meditation or who's never meditated before, what one tip can you give to the viewers who've never meditated, who might be interested in joining our 1111, but might be a little leery because they've never done it before?
Right. My one tip would be leave your cynicism at the door. I think that a lot of people will say, well, why am I going to waste, a half hour, 45 minutes every night at 11 o'clock to do this? I think that you may not think you need it. And, I don't want to use the word need it. Like, I feel like need it is a little bit too much of a pushy word. And you may not, quote unquote, need it. There's absolutely nothing to lose for it to do it. There's nothing, you're not going to lose anything taking that time out. And I think that, check your cynicism at the door and just allow yourself to sort of get lost in the moment, because I think that you will find, even if you're like, everything is fine, I don't really need to meditate, you will find value in it that you didn't know existed beforehand.
Awesome. Yes, I agree. I do agree. And just so for the viewers, again, our 11:11 minute meditation, 11:11 minutes, or should I say 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time, 11-minute meditation and one card pull meets every night at 11:11 p.m. via Zoom. Now, we do post the Zoom link on my Facebook page under Jab Barry. Everybody is welcome. It is a free event, so there's no charge for this event. And we show up every night, Monday through Friday, whether it's Nick and I, or we have a whole handful of people who join us. It is a very sacred space, a very fun space, and it seems to be everyone that is showing up are very, very all in the same space and all like-minded folks looking for the same process of just coming in to find some peace and calmness during this crazy space that we're all in of pausing. So we invite you to come join us every night. And if you're not on Facebook, which I can't imagine you're not being on Facebook, feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com, and I will send you the Zoom link to join us every night. This will take place until it doesn't take place. Is that a good way of going about that, Nick?
Yeah, I think that it's absolutely worthy now. And then, wherever this goes in the future, it's still going to be something that periodically is something that we should do in the new world. I think this is, focusing on meditation, at least for me and for some of the people that we've been meditating with, is probably part of whatever happens in life post pandemic. It's that I want to bring into my life, even beyond this, because the world seemed a lot more certain before. It wasn't, but having this experience now, there's something positive that I want to bring out into my life after this, and this is definitely something that I'm looking at, even if it's not every night.
Awesome.
So, theoretical.
Awesome. So, Nick, I would like to give you a reading. Are you open?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Is there a specific question you would like guidance on, or would you like the universe to provide you insight?
There's nothing that I really am thinking of right now, so I'm interested to see what the universe wants to tell me.
Okay. And I just want to say an FYI, one of my cards flew out of the deck, and I'm not able to get it right now. But once I'm able to see what it is, I will share that with you later, because it's obviously for you too. So, but I'm not able to get to it this moment. So let's see what the cards have for you today. Your card today is new relationship. And it's in an upright position.
Mhm.
And for the viewers, when cards show up in upright position versus reverse, reverse means there's resistance to it. There's no resistance to this card. The message is there's a new relationship. And what I hear on this one is that obviously you have a new relationship with yourself, and the relationship you have with your partner is going to actually move into a new relationship, a new cycle in that relationship. And it's very important to be grounded. That's what the red energy is all about, your root chakra, and getting grounded, because as you do move into something new, sometimes it could be a little uneasy. And obviously, because we're all moving into something new right now with COVID-19. So know that it's important to get grounded. And your number here is 2 and 8. So it is obviously about the partnership, and there's abundance coming into your new relationship, bringing it into a 10 energy. So new opportunities, new possibilities, and a lot of potential in your new relationship. I like to say the new cycle, the new relationship with yourself on a whole, but how you're going to bring that new relationship with self into your actual partnership, and partnerships of all areas, whether it's your career or intimate relationship. But it's definitely new. How's that sound to you?
Yeah, I'm sort of feeling that. Like I think we've talked about this too on the last few weeks, since probably the end of April, has felt like a turning point.
Yes.
And sort of like the beginning of a change that we're going into. And it started making this whole experience a little more exciting.
Yes,
and
yes.
Really, yes. There's still a lot of, I always say there's still a lot of negative energy sort of pulling me back into a funk, but meditation has helped at keeping that at bay and fighting back on that. But generally speaking, I started making, not predictions, but like ideas of what I want to do, in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line.
Yes.
So has people that I'm partnering with. So has my partner, so has my family, so has my, so it's interesting to see that, myself and everyone else has sort of like started to have this whole, in the new world, this is what we're doing.
Yes. And it's a perfect time for it too, because of our retrogrades, where it's a really great time for you to pause and start reflecting on what you would like to see unfold. Right. And because we're almost running out of time, what I would like for you to do for the viewers, because I think you have the perfect job where as a real estate agent, let them know how they can reach you, because there may be many people looking for new homes and apartments.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing that's happening too, is that a lot of people now are reaching out looking for a new place to shelter in place. You can reach me at my email, which is Nick Rafter, NICKRAFTER @gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook at Nick Rafter, or on Twitter at Nick Rafter, or Instagram at Nick Rafter Real Estate.
Awesome. Awesome. And again, for the viewers, thank you so much, Nick, for being here and sharing about our 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time, 11-minute meditation and 1 card pull. And for all our viewers, for anyone who's interested in receiving your own personal card reading, feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Should you like to participate in our 11:11 meditation, 1 card pull any night, feel free to email, or just, again, come to my Facebook page, Jab Barry, pull the link. It's up there usually about 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Everyone is welcome, because it's free. And again, get those chakras moving, activating. Come join me in my dance party. Dance like no one's watching. And I will see you all here next month, the second Wednesday of the month and looking forward to seeing you. Enjoy, stay safe, and know we are in pause right now. And that's okay. It's time to reflect and set intentions to what you like to see unfold. But for now, many blessings. Bye-bye.
Bye.